Proceeding to the next talk, boosting the developer and QA productivity with pair programming with AI, Gemini Code Assist, and Live Share. We have Sakthikannan Subramanian from Cognizant Technologies presenting this talk. Welcome, Shakti.
Thank you so much for the introduction. Quickly, I will share my screen, I think.
Yeah, we can see you.
Yeah, I just need to share my screen. Hope you're seeing my screen.
Not yet. Yeah, I think. Yes, we can see it now.
Yes, cool then. Hi everyone, this is Shakti and I am from Cognizant. I have 15 years of experience in quality engineering and I'm a test manager in Cognizant and I'm playing a role of test architect here in my client place. I work in London, and good morning who joined in Europe and London. And if you're joined from India and other places, it's good afternoon and good evening. I know this is a time for chai and some samosa in the evening in India, but what to do? You'll have to kind of like listen to me. And I've designed this presentations in such a way that I can complete it within 20 minutes, and then I will let last 5 to 10 minutes to discuss. After all, this is an interaction session rather than it is a presentation session. So today my topic is all about like boosting the developer and QA productivity in the pair programming with Gemini Code Assist with the live share sessions. So this consists of three major topics. One is like the boosting the productivity, and second is like using the Code Assist tool, that is Gemini AI. You call it any Code Assist tool, and there is something called live share and how that is helps in the in the QA ways of working, the new ways of working, and other stuffs. That's what I'm gonna talk about. So the agenda is going to be like, so let's talk about the AI stuffs and let's talk about the efficient collaboration, the collaboration between QA and QA or dev and QA or, dev and dev and whatever it is. And then let's talk about accelerated development. How can we accelerate our development? How can we increase our cycle time? How can we reduce our cycle time and then increase our releases and then faster releases? And how can we use this code generation to achieve all the other stuffs like accelerated development, the collaborative ways of working, and then bringing in the code generation and other stuffs. So I just need to give a simple intro or simple history, something like that. So whenever we think about this quality engineering or testing, what usually happens in the industry or what usually happens in the older ways of working is like, when your developer completes their code and we will be deploying those code to some staging environment or QA environment, whatever you call it, then what happens is like quality engineers, they are ready with their test scenarios and test cases. They will do their testing and they raise defects if they find any issues, and if there is any mismatches between the requirement as well as to the actual working system. We will be raising issues to the developers and we will be waiting for the developers to complete their defects to be fixed, and then we will redeploy the code and we will do the testing again. Now, those are all the old ways, old days, and old ways of working. The industry is looking forwards to these shift left ways of working, as well as there is a complete quality engineering paradigm shift in our ways of working. What exactly happens? So in earlier days, quality engineers are the gatekeepers of the quality, and whatever happens, you will be questioned. For example, if there is an incident happening in your production system, you will be asked like, why is this defect got leaked, and you are in a situation that you need to explain why the defect got leaked and what is the issue and all of that stuff. Now the ways of working is a bit different. Quality is not a quality engineer's sole responsibility. Now quality is the whole team's responsibility, and to do so, you will have to kind of like implement your shift left ways of working, right from your requirement gathering, right from your user story creation, right from your elaboration. You will start thinking about the quality, and you will start thinking about the risks that are going to happen in your future stages of your development and future stages of your deployment, and then deploying that to the production and giving to our customers. Then you will think about the risk, and you will start mitigating those risks, and you will start thinking about expanding your user stories and other stuffs in new agile ways of working. To do so, what is much essential is collaboration between the team. So the collaboration between your product owners, business analysts, and your developers and fellow quality engineers, which is very vital part in the shift left ways of working. To do so, nowadays we are doing more of three amigos, more of elaboration session, more of story mapping sessions to make this new shift left ways of working is going good. When you do this, what happens is like there are few things shifting left. One is like the ways that you work is shifting left. The quality, thinking about the quality, thinking about the risk, and thinking about the customer satisfaction, all those things you are shifting left. The second thing is like uh, the the quality engineers role, the quality engineers responsibilities, the quality engineers ways of working is also kind of like shifting. So there is a potential role expansion of quality engineers, where quality engineers will think about product, they will think about this whole system, and they will think about like how the quality engineer, the code, how a developer is going to develop the code, and from that how can we kind of like extract the risks, how can we deliver that particular code with the quality and all of that on all of that stuff. So to do so, quality engineers also needs to well equipped along with the developers. They'll have to well equipped along with the other stakeholders. So how can we do that? So to bring in those qualities nowadays, quality engineers, they start using the AI tools. So one such example is like using the code assist tool. So how can we use this code assist tool? How can we like think like exactly how a developer will think exactly like how a quality, how a customer will think, and bring in the quality to our system. So when we talk about this role expansion of quality engineers, nowadays quality engineers, there is a shift, right? So earlier we were calling ourselves a tester, then we called ourselves a quality assurance engineer. Now we are calling ourselves a quality engineer who will look into the system and who will kind of like suggest things to the developers. Nowadays we are expanding ourselves to a SDET or quality advocate roles as well. So when we call about this SDET and quality advocate roles, quality engineers also started dirtying their hands in developing the products. For example, in the new ways of working, what you can do is like you can take up a developer role and you can start teaching, or you can start educating your developers to act like a quality engineers and pair with you. And when you develop, he will be doing their testing along with you, or else he will be doing the development and you will be involving in more of the code development or code review and other stuffs like that. So to do so, this AI, the Gen AI area, and as well as the code assist area is going to help us a lot in this case. On doing all these activities, what is happening is like the quality engineer's role is getting expanded. So he starts thinking about the overall system. He start thinking about the developer code. He start thinking about the risks, and he start thinking like how a product engineer or a product owner thinks, or a business analyst thinks, or something like that. So there is a potential huge expansion in the role of a quality engineer. And So what exactly this Gemini AI code assist tool, as well as this paired ways of working along with your developer, the collaborated ways of working with along your developer helps. So two major areas. One is like the whole development environment along with your quality engineer and the developer. They will be co-creating the code. So when your developer is developing your code, like the feature, what a quality engineer will do is like they will be start developing the test. So what kind of test they can do, any test you call it, they will be able to generate those tests right from your unit test till the end-to-end test. There are n number of tests. If you think about the industry pyramid, so it starts with your unit test, and you have your functional test, and you have your integration test, and you have your non-functional test like accessibility and performance testing, and you have something like compatibility testing, and you have some security testing and all other stuffs, and along with your end-to-end testing. Will they be able to generate all these things? Of course they will be able to generate all these things with the help of this AI tools and the collaborative ways of working with your developer. Because if developer will be well equipped in the technology side, and you can get help of your developers on develop when you are developing your tests. One thing is like you can start validating the unit test when your developer is developing his code, and you can start modifying along with your developers. And the efficiency is also boosted because you are pairing with your developer, you are developing along with your developer. I mean, you are developing your tests along with your developer, and developer is doing quality engineering activities along with the quality engineer. So what happens is like hands on hands going between developer and the quality engineer. So the quality is getting multiplied, the quality is getting increased, and you will not be losing anything because you already thought about the risks going to happen in the future, and you have all those mitigation plans, and you will discuss with your developer, and then you will develop the product so that we will not leak anything in the production. And then and there, what happens is like because you are collaborating with your developers, and because you are pairing with your developer, then and there you will be able to see the code in your local server. Because nowadays we started using all these containers, we started sharing our pods with your developers, and the live share sessions. So what happens is like then and there, when the developer develops and builds in his local system, you will be able to see the system, you will be able to do the quality engineering task there, you will be able to test it, and then you can say that no, this is not in the requirement, you need to change it. So what happens is like the time that you wait for your developer to complete their development and they deploy that code to your staging environments, and you do the testing, those things are erased, so everything is shifted left. So you work along with your developer, and what happens is like you will be able to test along with your developer, and if you find some anomalies and if you find some issues, you will be able to fix it then and there and do the retesting, and then you can do the deployments to your production. And the CI/CD is going to help you a lot in this area. And when you think about this faster releases, because of these activities, you will be able to do the faster releases. Where you do the faster releases, you get the faster feedbacks as well. So which will be improving your quality, as well as you will be able to think about how can we expand these features, how can we expand this functionality, and if there is any issues, you get the faster feedback, and you just start fixing those issues as early as possible, actually. Um, and thinking about this code generation, so being a quality engineer, what you can do is like when there are 4 or 5 modules that a developer has to be generated, you can share the work with the developer and start developing using the code generators, and using the code assist. You can get reviewed with your developer, and then you can start expanding your role as well, like from your quality analyst or quality engineer to the estate or quality advocate or whatever role you call it. So in the earlier session, before this session, we were talking about this accessibility testing and other stuffs like that. So where we came to know that you need a specific skill set to do those accessibility testing. And for example, if you wanted to do some performance testing, and nowadays it is all about your SEO counts, all about your CWV, that is core web vital counts, because how Google looks into your website is very much important, and all your performance score like CLS or INP, everything matters a lot. So if you wanted to consider everything, what you have to do is like you need to have some sort of tests running every time that you do the development. So to do this specialized test, for example, if you want to validate the CWVs, if you want to validate all this accessibility and things like that, if you are not that clear about those codings, and for example, if you I don't know how to use this axe, I don't know how to use this site speed, I don't know how to use this web page test, all those things, what you can do is like you can get help from your code assist tools. You can ask it and you can say that I need to generate an accessibility test here, and for this particular page or something like that. Then what happens, your code generator will generate the code, and you just go verify whether the expected code is generated, and then you can save it, and then you can start executing it actually. So in those days, what happens is like the accessibility, we will be accessibility or performance or security, all these things. What we will be thinking is like we need to deploy things to the environments, and then we will be thinking about testing all those things. Nowadays, it is like you can do it in your local system itself, all those accessibility test and performance and whatever NFT that you wanted to do, you can validate in your local machines itself, and then get the faster feedbacks. And if you find any issues, you can fix it then and there along with your developer, because you are pairing. So what is the benefit? It gives you a cleaner pipelines. You can kind of like, once you commit your code along with your developer, and your code will get executed in your pipeline. Um, when I talk about pipeline, it is all about your path to live. Jenkins pipeline, for example, you don't want to like worry much of failing those tests in the later time. It gets executed in a local, and you will be having a good confidence that everything is fixed, and you have a clean path to live pipeline, where it helps a lot in your cycle time reduction, as well as in the faster releases. And of course, there is an improved workflow, because more of collaboration with your developers and other stakeholders, which will help you a lot in improving the workflow. So when we talk about this code assist tool, any code assist tool, let's take in the which is available in the market. Let's take the Gemini AI, or earlier it was calling as Duet AI, and or Copilot, or whatever. Nowadays we have something called Code Whisperers and other stuff. Any code assist tool, it is just a plugin you just add to your to your IDEs, for example, Visual Studio Code or anything like that. So majorly you will be using it for three major functionality. One is like because you are pairing with your developer will be doing some development code, and I told that you will be developing your unit testing code. You need to understand what developer has developed. Just in case if you want to understand, you can ask Gemini or any code assist tool to say that, can you please explain this part of code? I'm not able to understand. So it gives you in clear steps, and it gives you a clear explanation saying that why the developer has used such code here, and where are the references and things like that. Then you can generate the real-time code like unit test or whatever it is. Sorry. And then you can do the validations then and there. It is real-time validation is happening there. So it is like, which fuels a lot in your shift left ways of working. And it helps in the faster resolution as well, because that's what I was explaining in the previous slide as well. Because you are pairing with your developer, you can find the issues then and there, and then what you can do is like you can fix the issues, and then you can deploy that to the protection and other stuff. So I've kind of like created some simple videos. So how does this helps for a quality engineer when you use your code assist tool? So one such example is like getting and explain this functionality. For example, if you see it is saying that there are giving you some options. Do you want to generate a code unit test, or you want to explain the code, or you want to kind of like if you're not clear how to use your Gemini code assist. It says like how to use your code assist. As a quality engineer, just in case if I pair with my developer, if I want to, I'll play this. It might be blurred, but I just wanted to understand. I just wanted everyone to understand like how this works. So what happens is like there is a code, developer code. I just select the set of developer code. I just select the code that I wanted to understand. The developer has developed. So what I do is like I click on explain this. Then what happens is like it gives me a clear steps, and then it gives me a clear explanation what exactly that code is meant for, and what are all the components it's used, where are all the references, and why they use those references and other stuff. So which gives a clear understanding for the quality engineer. And even if the quality engineer is very new to the new ways of working, it will be helpful to the quality engineers. And also, when you do the peer review of your developers merge request, you will be able to understand whether the unit test coverage is there and all the functional test coverage is there or not. And you can comment in the MR saying that, okay, you have developed this code, this particular area, you are missing a unit test. Of course, you have your automated area where it says like unit test coverage and other stuffs, but still, as a quality engineer, if you are doing a review, you will be able to understand like how can we understand the code and then suggest to the developers like what are all the code that you have done and what are all the unit test coverage that you have given. um, Another one thing, a developer or QA, when they are pairing, I was talking about the live share session, because when I say you are pairing with your developer, it is like you sit in a single session. For example, if I use my Visual Studio Code, what will I do is like I use something called live share, or if I use IntelliJ, I will use something called Code with Me, and I will share the session with my developer, or I will share the session with my quality engineers. What happens is like we both sit inside a single code repository or in a single code session, where I will be able to access the what my developer is developing. I will be able to see what my developer is developing, or I will be able to see what my quality engineer is doing or developing. And then and there I will be able to run the code as well in my local, and I will be able to see whether the all my tests that I have generated is working fine or not, or whether the developer is developing the code as per the functionality expected. That means as per the requirements or not. So you can do the both the areas. So one such example that I can give you is like you can do an unit test generation. For example, if your developer is doing all this development work, as a quality engineer, you are in the same session because you are in live share session, and you will be selecting the code, and you say that generate the unit tests, and then you can include that unit test in the developer code, and then you can validate it. So for example, if you see here, I just need to pause it here. So if you see here, what happens is like I have shared my screen to one of my fellow developer or a quality engineer. What happens is like it says like this is just a live share plugin, and it says like there is one participant. Is that like only one participant can be added? No, you can add more participants, like 2 or 3 participants to your live share session. You can kind of like work collaboratively, and you can start sharing your terminals as well, because I have shared only read only. Now I can do write only as well, where your port will be shared with your fellow quality engineers or developers, where they can run their local system, and then they can access your port and see. For example, if your website is running in the local port, you will be able to access the local port of your developer, and then you can do the testing. If you see, so one such example is like, so what I'm doing here is like I'm selecting all my developers code. Then if you see, I just go to code assist tool, and I have generated the list of means my coworker has generated the list of unit tests, and they have added that to the area where the unit tests are saved or executed. Then what happens is like if you see there will be a purple area where my coworker will be working along with me and doing some edit to my tests or code, whatever I wanted to, because we are in a single session. Most probably we will be talking together and then we will be generating the code and we will be updating the code and testing together. So this is how this live share session helps a lot in increasing the productivity, increasing the collaboration, and increasing the quality of the system. Actually, um, another very important fundamental thing that a quality engineer can do is like generating the tests. So, as a budding developer or as a budding quality engineer or a quality engineer who or a functional tester or a manual tester, they wanted to start involve in the generating the automation code, automation tests, or they wanted to contribute in the automation area. What they can do is like they can start generating the tests and they can start generating the code with the help of the code assist tools, for example. So in this example, what we are doing is like there is in my project I'm using 𝐁𝐫𝐶𝐭, where I'm just asking my code assist tool. What is this? Sorry. So in this example, I'm just asking my code assist tool to generate something. So I'm saying that in a given any given website, there will be something called mega menus. In the mega menu, just can you please validate something? Click on some mega menu and then just go and see whether that particular page is navigated or not, or something like that. The moment I give in a comment and start generating the code with the help of code assist tool, it will give me the test that I wanted to validate. If you see, it understands my framework, it understands my testing utilities and frameworks that I have, and it generates the code, and it helps me in creating the whole test. So just in case if you wanted to create this test, either you are an experienced quality engineering developer, or if you are a budding quality engineering developer, it takes time. You need to understand the system, you need to understand the modules that you have created, and then you need to understand the utilities files that you have created, and then you will have to develop this test, and you will have to look into other tests and then understand what exactly you need to do. And with the help of these code generators, what happens is like it gives you the test and you just see, is this what I'm expecting? Yes, it is what it is. This is what I'm expecting. Then given in few seconds, I generated the test. Just imagine that you have hundreds and thousands of tests needs to be generated, and imagine that how full these kind of tools is. Um, so not only this test generation, you can generate the developer code as well. So you can say, I need a function to do such and such activity, get this parameters as inputs, and then give back a response, and you will be able to generate. So you will be going to the next level, like an estate and other stuff like that. Um, Along with this, whenever you say like you give some prompts, we call this as prompts, right? So in AI language. So along with this prompts, just in case if you have some specific needs, you will have to kind of like improve your prompting, improve your prompt engineering skills. So it allows you to understand AI, and it allows you to understand the AI better. How can you give prompting to the AI so that you will be able to uh, excel in AI area as well? For example, I'm just kind of like saying to my you know to my code assist tool, saying that um, can you create a similar test? That means there are a number of tests in my file. So in a particular area, I'm saying that can you validate a page title with name Shakti, and use some stuff flags is what I'm giving, and then I'm saying that can you please give it in the mobile view. So I'm keep on generating, but I'm not able to get the desired results. That is all because my prompt is not that great. So what I'm gonna do is like I'm gonna change my prompt, saying that okay, I wanted to validate in the mobile viewport. So the moment I say that, so if you see what happens is like it just creates a viewport like mobile, and it start validating it. So prompts matter as well. So we will be learning the prompt engineering skills as well along with this the other collaborative works or something like that. I'll go for the last one now. Yeah, so what are all the benefits that out of these activities? Like one is collaboration, another one is like using the code assist tool, and third thing is like shift left ways of working and doing the role expansion and other stuff. So if these are all the benefits that I have reaped in my project implementing this ways of working. So one is like we are able to see there is a cycle time reduction because of the faster releases, and all my fellow budding quality engineers, they were able to understand the developer's code, and they are able to generate the developer code. They are able to review the developer code, and they are kind of like laddering up from a quality analyst or tester to a quality engineer or a SDET roles, and nowadays they are going beyond that role as well. And your code quality is also improved because that is always a difference, right? So when a human generates a code and a system generates a code, there is a all those coding standards are maintained, and the code and the code quality of the code is also like increased. And we got our productivity increased, and the quality is not compromised as well because of this bad ways of working. We are developing, testing, fixing everything in one session, so that it is very faster on the quality perspective and then development perspective. That's all I wanted to talk today, and I'll open the forum for questions. I can answer any question.
Hi, Shakti. Thank you so much. There is one question. Do we have any code assistance tool? Please name it.
Do we have any code assistance tool? There are a number of the code assist tool that I've used here is like the Gemini AI. Earlier it was Duet, and there are a number of tools available. So one is Copilot, and another one is like there is something called Code Whisperer. There are a number of code assist tool in the market. Either if you wanted to pay and use it, or if you wanted to use the free version, there are a number of code assist tools available in the market.
Great. Thank you so much, Shakti. We really enjoyed all the session, all the information that you gave in the session. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the participants as well. Very calm.